All right. So we are here. We are live on the social experiment. We back for another episode. I got my man Terro Jackson in the room with us. We're gonna be having us a good conversation. We're gonna learn a couple different things. We're gonna figure out what he got going on. See what all he gets himself into, and we're gonna get some opinions and some feedback, some information from him. All right, boom. My fault. We had a little mishap already. So like I said, we got my man Terrell Jackson in the building. We going Facebook Live on the social experiment. Like I said, y'all know how we do. We reach out to different men in the community. We highlight them. We discuss different things, get different opinions, different viewpoints. Just different conversations about what they feel or what they think about different things. So I got my man Terrell here. Now again, like I'm not. I've only known Terrell since just being on the football scene for the most part. Like I remember you playing semi pro, and like I told all the other guys, like just seeing different guys working on and stuff like that in the gym, just being active in the community, and then like the whole football thing. You know what I mean? Just being involved with different kids in the community and different things of that nature. So I'm gonna close. I'm gonna do it from here. But yeah, so we got you here. Get to have a different conversation with you about just a bunch of different topics, a bunch of different subjects. So my first question I'm gonna ask you is like, I ask everybody else like, what made you being interested to come on the show and have this conversation with me?
Um, First and foremost, I love what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's good for men of our stature to have discussions. I think discussions is the icebreaker for a lot of men in general, but black men for sure. Um, I think these type of discussions help. You know what I mean? Some people are real uncomfortable with taking these type of discussions.
Okay.
So, and I think our youth is core, and your platform is very. You know what I mean? It's a lot of information that get put out, but you're right to the point. You know what I mean? And you're a genuine person, so I only deal with genuine people. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Okay.
that's love.
I appreciate that. So, like I said, not being too familiar with you outside of, the sports scene and then seeing you getting you more involved in the community. And I remember going to some community meetings and seeing you at the community meetings. And I'm just like, okay, you seem like a pretty good dude. I remember y'all had the Erie Bulldogs and stuff like that going. So as far as that, like, um, who is Terrell Jackson? Let me ask you that. Like, who is Terrell Jackson as far as like what the people are going to know about you and what you're going to share with us today?
Who is Terro Jackson? Well, originally I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I've been here roughly about 10 years.
You might have to scoot up a little bit. I don't.
Yeah, I've been here about 10 years. Yeah, about 10 years. I'm in the military. I've been in the military about 10 years, going on 11 actually.
Okay.
I'm on the Air Force side of that. Terrell Jackson. I'm a coach.
Okay.
I'm a father.
Okay.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I'm a leader. You know what I mean? Outside of dealing with the youth, which I've been dealing with high school for over 8 years too. You know what I mean? Um, Outside of that, I just like making people be good. You know what I mean? So I like answers, should I say? You know what I mean? Um, Outside of that, you know what I mean? I train a lot of people with my A1 speed and performance training. Um, I like mentor to a lot of kids though. I think they're the future. So I deal with a lot of kids. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Okay. So then, like you said, you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
yeah.
So like, how long did you live there? And then like, when did you kind of like end up in the service? For like, is that what led you here? Did you move around here? Like, how did you end up from Baton Rouge to the service to Erie?
So my story is a long one, a lot of a hard working one. From Baton Rouge, out of college, when I first committed to college, because I played football and track. Went to
Okay.
high school, Glen Oaks High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I originally went to LSU. Um,
Oh yeah.
LSU for the first semester, hard headed, then knucklehead.
Okay.
Left, went to Southern University, HBCU. That's my love. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's why I played my collegiate career at, and also track. Out of that, it's when I had my son in college. My son was in college. Then I'm going to Atlanta for rookie mini camp. Then I'm going to Arena, CFL,
So rookie, when you say rookie mini camp, what are we talking
Atlanta
about?
Falcons.
Okay. Okay.
So that was out of Southern University. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I worked my butt off to get there. From there, I went to Arena, then CFL for a year back, and then back to Arena again. From Philly Soul, then from Philly Soul up here to Erie Explosion. I played Erie Explosion with Roe and all the
Okay.
big names out here. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
got some rings with Erie Explosion. Then I ended up playing with the Express.
Okay.
I got in the coaching scene here when Prep League was going on. I started with youth because I just wanted. I feel like my impact could have helped the youth. That was before I heard anything else about the Bulldog. After that, I ended up getting with the Bulldogs roughly 2 years after that, and then end up taking over the Bulldogs, me and my buddy Mike Hollywood.
Okay.
And then we just, we pushed the Bulldogs to a point because we knew what type of level these kids needed to be on in order to succeed on the next level.
Right.
That's the whole point of the Bulldog being created. You know what I mean? Because like I tell a lot of people, that's the foundation piece of so coaches like Andre Henderson it'd be easy on his coaching.
Right. Right.
If we do it right here, it's gonna be right there.
Right. Right.
So, and that's one of the main things. We based a feeder for Erie High now, the Bulldogs.
Okay.
So we getting it rocking, man. From there, I got in the military once I got here, technically.
Okay.
So I got in the military here, Army, on the Army side. And then I just finished my contract with Army about a year ago.
All right.
So I've been in the Air Force side now, getting that going. I'm a staff sergeant in that side too.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, so I do a lot, man.
I hear, and you literally listen, man. You literally you fast tracked this. Go ahead, keep going though.
Outside of that, I'm a program director right now, coordinator at the Booker T. Washington Center.
Okay.
That's what my office is. That's where we have a lot of events and stuff like that. I deal with the kids for the after school program. Deal directly with the school district, trying to get after school programs settled for everybody, even the life greater than violence event that we got coming up, which is dealing with study halls and stuff like that for the student athletes and hiring teachers, and it's a lot I do, man. So
okay. Listen, man, the resume is pretty solid, man, and that's why you're here today, man, because I want to kind of talk about some of those things and get a bunch of different information from you, just kind of get some insight from you, because like from everything that you just shared, it seems like you've had a pretty good journey through life, you know what I mean, as far as like your accomplishments and your development, going from, being a high school athlete, and then, two sport athlete, excuse me, then going to college, like we talking LSU, so we talking SEC, just even to it took something to get there, you know what I mean? Then we talking Southern, you know what I mean, Southern University, so then we going HBCU to the Falcons, to the to Arena, to the CFL, back to the Arena, to the semi-pro. So like, when we talking about all of this, and this is all the things that you have going on, and this is what your resume looks like, how did it start? You know what I mean? As far as like you growing up, like you being a young man growing, what was life like for you? Take us through that. Like, what was life like for you growing? Let's just go. Do you have any siblings? Like,
Yeah, I have siblings. I'm the oldest of two brothers.
Okay.
I got two little brothers. My one brother, he's a foreman. He stay in Dallas right now. He's a foreman out there at a plant. He's on the other side.
Okay.
My other little brother's currently at Southern University, graduate next year. He'll be going to law school.
Okay.
Outside of that, I got two nieces and my son. My mom, my dad passed, and that's the foundational pieces of my family. Me growing up, it was hard. You know what I mean? It was hard, but I was blessed enough to have two parents in my house.
Okay.
No matter the projects I came in, you know what I mean, and the outcomes. My mom stayed hard on us. My dad, he worked all the time. You know what I mean?
Okay, so when you say two parents, like, are you talking your father or was your
father and my mother?
Okay,
I mean?
okay.
And I know that's blessed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think that's part of the foundational pieces that kept me where I needed to be at outside of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
My dad wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? He wasn't perfect, but he was there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And mom was mom. You know
right.
I mean? They both was real hard working. I think that's why I got my work ethic for sure.
Okay.
Outside of that, we struggled for everything. You know what I mean? That taught me how to fight. You know what I mean? Fight and never give up on things that you put your mind to.
So wait, when you what it's like growing up in Louisiana, like being all the way up here up north, we hear a lot of different things. We see the videos of Cash Money, them videos and stuff like that, then the Katrina and all of that. So like in my perspective, it's just like, man, like, it's rough down there. So what was that like? Like, I need you to roll in, get a little closer for me.
All right. Louisiana, I love it to death, but I never stayed back there.
No.
You know what I mean? It's the same as any area. Like I tell anybody, crime is everywhere. You know what I mean? Is it greater in Louisiana? Yes, by a major margin. But you know what I mean? I feel anybody coming from areas of that stature could make it out, though. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. I don't let my stories be a testament of weakness.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's part of who I am. You know what I mean? everybody I can't say the same though.
Right, right,
And it's these type of discussions that's open at. But Louisiana is I love Louisiana. The culture, the food, the music. You're gonna have a good time if you go there. You know what
right,
I mean? I love
right.
everything about it. I would never not love everything about it. It's my home. You know what I mean? Um, you still like I said, you still have your murder rates, you still have your education, inner city schools is the same way as here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just on a bigger stage. Um, Outside of that, you know what I mean? Food, good time.
Right.
Louisiana's a good time. I'm not gonna lie. I tell
Okay.
anybody if you had to visit, go visit.
But yeah, see, I always
Go
wanted to go down
visit,
somewhere. I
man.
wanted to go down into Louisiana.
HBCUs is probably the best thing I ever experienced in my life. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Okay. So what type of friends did you grow up with? Like what type of youngsters did you have around you, or you know?
My homies, you know what I mean? I got homies that's dead in jail, you know what I mean?
Uh
But
huh.
I got a few homies that I'm proud of. You know what I mean? I would like to say I meant they watched me because I was should I say, I always was gone. You
Okay.
know what I mean? I never stayed home since high school.
Well, then what do you mean when you say that?
So since high school I always moved out. You know what I mean? I moved out at 17, I was on my own. You know what I mean? And they know I'll pick up and leave at any time.
Uh huh.
I stayed in Houston, I stayed in Atlanta, and I was young, you know what I mean? Staying all over these places. A lot of my homies are still back there.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? They like, man, how you do it? By yourself? No family?
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you doing all this? Like, what are you just up and
Um,
leaving for? Like,
you know what I mean? I feel like that's what I needed as a person. You know what I
okay,
mean? As a person, I didn't need to be at home.
okay,
You know what I mean? Me. So I feel like I grow more when I'm somewhere else. You know what I mean? Um, so like a lot of my buddies, I'm proud of a lot of them now. They're doing stuff with their life. They're not doing the same thing. Like one of my buddies, he just actually left a hell of a job, honestly,
uh huh,
and went into coaching. He's a damn good talent. He's one of the guys that ended up going to LSU with me.
okay,
But he ended up getting in the plant, making money. You know what I mean, it's something he didn't like to do. So he went doing, he quit it and went start doing something he wanted to do.
right,
So he's
okay,
right now he's a defensive back coach out there at Liberty High School back in Louisiana. I'm proud of him. Another one of my buddies, he's in the military now. Got two buddies that I lost due to violence. You
uh
know what I
huh,
mean? Two I lost on a motorcycle. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
A motorcycle. So it's you know what I mean. I like to say it's the story of a lot of other people. You know what I mean? They
right,
lost a few of the homies in the same situations. You know what I mean? Either locked up, dead in jail. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be.
okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
So then, like, as far as that type of stuff, so and then you being involved in sports, like, what was the stats like for you in the track and football, going as far as high school to get you to LSU and to get you to the next level?
The biggest thing I say got me to that next level was my hard work though.
Okay,
Outside of stats. Our team was hella good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We was stacked. We out of 4 years I was in school, and I went to two different schools. I went to McKinley, then Glen Oaks. In my 2 years at Glen Oaks, we won the title. You know what I mean?
okay,
We was a city school,
right,
but us being a city school, competing with the big dogs, you got to work 10 times harder.
okay,
It's
okay,
politics. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
So once I got to these stages, I went to camps. Every
okay.
camp possible. LSU, I went to Nick Saban camp every year.
So when you say camps, you mean like the workout, like where they
Yeah,
do?
like so in
Okay,
the summer they have high school camps for you,
right,
elite camps and stuff like that. And like I try to explain, because I deal with a lot with recruiting. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? I got a lot of recruiters that's my homies that right now I play with
right,
that I talk to almost every day. So if I had the platform we had now, it'll be way easier.
uh huh,
But back in the day, you had those same type of elite camps, but it was more specific to the school.
right,
So LSU recruit home first.
okay,
You know what I mean? My stats was my stats. They already knew what it was, but I'm still competing with the powerhouses. You know what I mean?
right, okay,
So if it wasn't for
got you,
those camps, I wouldn't have got the look I wanted to.
right,
Because I'm competing against the dog. You said that was a dog. You know what I
right,
mean? It's dog against dogs.
right,
Everybody a dog till you face one. You know what I
right,
mean? So that's how I really got to LSU based off they know I was a city school. Oh, they good, but they don't know how to face inversion. They
right,
hotheads. You know what I
right,
mean? They
right,
don't know how to
okay,
act. They act like, you know what I mean? So those camps were things that put us above everybody else.
okay,
You see what I'm
okay,
saying?
got you,
And it's the same now, but media, it's easier with media. You
right,
know what I mean?
right,
And I deal with a lot of kids who are recruiting right now. So media is important for them.
okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
So then, like doing that, like throughout that, like what type of role models did you have growing up? Like outside, you said your father was there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Outside that, like what other?
outside my father, I decided my coaches, honestly, man, I've been playing this sport forever, man. Every coach out of came encounter. I know one teacher, Miss Abula.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in third grade. I still remember. You know what I
Right,
mean? It's
right.
crazy. I still do. Eric Dooley right now, currently the head coach of Southern University, because
Okay.
they play Jackson State this week,
Okay.
which is gonna be live.
Okay. Okay.
That's my guy. I talk to him daily.
Okay.
Um, I got a lot of mentors around here. Like even some people around here that I look. My mentor, like I feel like mentors is not just when you growing. You
Right.
grow every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me like things I hear from you, I'm like, okay, that's a conversation that needs to
Okay.
happen. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So, but outside the younger ones, that's it. Most of my mentors was coaches, my dad, and like I said, my dad, everybody, yeah, he wasn't perfect. You know what I
Right. Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
But I'm a guy that can convert negativity and make it a positive. You know what
Right.
I mean? I
Right.
don't look, yeah, it might be negative, but I just know, okay, I ain't gonna do it that way. I learned from it. You know what I
Right.
mean? You know what I mean? But outside of that, that was really the main things.
All right. Okay. So then, like, so as far as you like having them coaches, and I see, like I said, I've been seeing you out here coaching for a while, and then just different conversations we throw around different topics. So, like, as far as the coaching aspect of it, like how important was it, or how important do you think it is for us as men in the community to be involved in sports and be involved with the kids to where you know what I mean?
The biggest thing, I think you might have heard me say this before in that one meeting, but for me, coaching is important. Like it's a form of a father or a mother. You know what I mean? That's in this life. Like I tell anybody, it takes a village.
Right.
It
Right.
takes a village to raise one child. You know what I mean? No matter if you got both parents in the household, especially in this day and age.
Okay.
Um,
Now, what do you mean you
when
say
I
that?
graduate, so I just graduated from Mercer Church last semester. So
Okay.
when I wrote basically a paper on a small paper on this, the most important part of a human growth and development is a child's life from when they're born to roughly before they start school.
Okay.
And if you break it up in percentages, you have 100% access to your child, and every influence and everything comes from you from that infant age till they roughly get ready to go to school.
Got you. Got you.
Now, if they got a divided household, that might be 50-50.
Right.
If they go to grandparents, that's 20%. So
Right.
you really only got 40-40 if you divide it.
Right.
So
Right.
think about the impact. So if your households don't preach the same thing,
Right.
it gets confusing to these kids. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's why it's good to have two parent household or an army that preaches the same thing. Like
Right.
whatever you preach, your mom preach. And if you and his mom ain't together, the mom preach the same thing.
Right.
It almost equals to 100%. So,
Right.
but that part is the most important part of their life. Now, once they get to school, you got to think about it. It takes almost 30% of your child's life right then and there. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
now you down to 70, go to grandparents. That's another whatever. You know what I mean? So really, you about almost got 30%, 40% of your child's life once they start school.
Right. Okay.
If they go to sports, that's more time for somebody else to have an impact.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So now you almost at 10% based off of if you got a divided household, if you got more impact in your child's life, if you coach your child. That's why I
Right.
think I see more people coaching their children now
Uh-huh.
because of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if everybody exercises the same thing,
Right.
we'll be better off. That's why I say it takes an army. And I think coaches are so valuable. Like me and Dre talked about this the other day. Youth youth coaches is the most important in a child's life
Okay.
because they develop them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? As far as on the football journey for us, you know what I mean? Now, as far as getting raised, you know what I mean? Hopefully you got teachers preach, but you can't say every teacher.
It's gonna be. Oh, I'm listening.
You
But
can't say every teacher gonna exercise what you exercise.
right.
They gotta go to school.
Right.
And now you got media, so they got a phone. So your percentages get less and less
Right.
of
Right.
impacting your child's life. So you got to depend on other people to do the right thing.
Right. So let me ask you this because somebody just came in a question. I think it'll be a good time. Like, so when you think about other people, and then somebody said, like, what do you think about coaches needing clearances? Because I feel like there's certain people in the community that like maybe has a rough patch at one point in time, but they have the biggest influence on some of these kids who need
Correct.
that. Hey, sit down. So, like, what's your thoughts on that as far as like the clearance thing? I mean, that's just a question for
Clearance is a standard. You know what I mean?
right.
It don't define who you are as a person.
Okay.
And for you to be a mentor, you could be a mentor without even coaching.
Okay.
Who said that? You know what I mean? So the thing is, like I said, clearance is what they want to see. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think you being a mentor, don't let clearances stop you from being a mentor and being active in your community.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You have community centers to get access to.
Okay.
Literally. You got Booker T. Washington, MLK, JFK.
Right.
You can be involved with these kids in so many ways. You know what I mean? And the more you're involved and around them, now people can look past, because you can look past a clearance.
Right. Okay.
You
Okay.
can. You know what I mean? I'm not going, it just, they don't want to come back and bite them. You know what I mean? If
Understood.
something happens. You
Understood.
see what I'm saying? So, for example, me and Dre talking about this too. We're going to start hosting coaching clinics
Okay.
to certify our coaches in the community. So we know this is the standard, and I know they're gonna execute. So now outside your clear, I know okay, he got a coaching clinic from Erie School, just Erie High, boom
Right.
boom. He stamped. We're going through the same practices, same thing.
Okay.
So now we exercising the same thing. Now you can bring your mentorship
Got you.
for that. So
Got
we're
you.
trying to get outlets for these type of situations. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And same with ref. We're trying to get our own chapter here, so we ain't got to deal with everybody ref. We can have our own.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
No, I
it's
never
different
even
ways.
thought about it like that. And then, like
Right.
again, like how all of that connect to it do definitely make a lot of sense. So then it's like, far as like the coaches playing a major role and then being involved, like I want to hop back. Like I said, my questions be all over the place, but then hopping back to your story. So then take me to like LSU and then to Jackson. Like, what was that experience like? Just first of all, going to LSU and then it was not. Excuse me.
Right.
Southern. My
Southern
fault. Southern
University.
University. Southern University. So we go LSU. Like, what was that experience like? Like walking on through into that campus and then Southern University. Like,
It was
because
a
these is
culture
pretty.
shock. I grew up in South Baton Rouge, so I was at every game. It's in my back. LSU's in my backyard.
Okay.
Literally, I look out the stadium's right here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
South Baton Rouge is where I was, so I always knew everything about LSU, and that's every kid looking at it like I'm gonna be there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm gonna be there. That's where I want to be. Southern was the same way. Deep down, you looked at that the same way. You know what I mean?
So it's like a cultural thing down there. Like
Yeah,
everybody,
deep
like
down, you looked at that the same way. So when I originally went to LSU, I was a kid that had my accolades in high school. So I'm like, I'm a dog. I'm supposed to be here.
right, right,
You feel me?
right,
But it's politics.
right,
You know what I mean? You got to, at LSU, the way Nick Saban worked, you got to do your time. You could be a dog. You ain't playing till your junior year for real.
right.
What?
Okay,
You telling me that?
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you
And
thinking
that,
I'm
and
supposed to
then
be on the
so, at this time, you know what I mean? Pete Richardson, that's my dog. You know what I
okay,
mean? Pete Richardson at Southern University, we was already talking. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going over here with my people. You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
And I don't regret. I don't regret nothing. You know what I mean?
okay.
You know what I mean? I could have stayed, rocked it out, but Southern University is where I was supposed to be.
So what's like that?
I
What's
love
that
everything.
HBCU experience like? Like what's that like? I went to Clarence University. That's around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we talking Pennsylvania. We talking way at the top of the map. So you got to kind of take me through the HBCU experience a little bit.
HBCU, I tell anybody, it's the best experience. I never changed for nothing else. As an athlete at HBCU, it was even better. You know what I mean? But the thing is, HBCUs is so much to do to sidetrack you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But you do have people there that, and I think it's even better now. It's just homecoming just left. You have people who are there to see your own do the same thing you're doing. It's encouraging.
Okay. Now, what do you mean? You guys, we again, we up north, man.
Yeah,
So when you say that, you gotta slow us. I
So
know what you mean.
HBCU is historical black college. You know what I
Right.
mean? When I was at LSU, you see everybody, but you see more, white and other minorities, other people doing the things that you wish your people was doing.
Right. Right.
Now we athletes. A lot of us are athletes. You know what I mean? But you go to Southern, everybody's the same way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
so it's like an empowering feeling.
Empowering. It was empowering and encouraging. And then you got everybody from so many different areas: the culture, the food, the fraternities, alphas, AK. Man, it was.
Did you pledge anything?
Nah.
No pledging?
I was this close.
That close. Okay.
This close, but the chapter got suspended.
Okay.
Man. I was all the way through, and the chapter got suspended.
Oh, so you was like literally going through
I
the
was
steps
in.
and all. Like you was in. I'm thinking you was this close to making a decision to.
Nah, I was in.
So, and then okay, so we talking. You said like it's definitely some stuff to get involved in there. So when you think about like the discipline that you had to put forth, you know what I mean, as far as determination and hard work, like take me through that a little bit as far as like staying focused. How important was it for you in your like to stay focused, to stay disciplined, and accomplish whatever, you know what I mean, whatever it is that you wanted to accomplish by going there to get on that field?
Football was my sanctuary. You know what I mean? Sports was my sanctuary. I was an athlete all my life. And for me, the discipline it took was, I think my purpose was greater than the football field.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Things and struggles in my life, I think pushed me to that point. You know what I mean? I think, you know what I mean, the things that went through in my life, my mom, my dad, and them had to deal with, nah, we don't want that to happen no more. I gotta go get it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I gotta go get it by all means. All means. So I was up at 5 in the morning running around the projects. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to the weight room double day. They like, oh, there you go again.
Right.
You know what I mean? While my homies doing whatever, I could have gotten any work I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I had OGs and people around me like, nah, go to the weight room, go where you going. You know what I mean?
Right. So let me
They
ask,
knew what I had though. You know
how
what I mean?
common was it, like, for where you come from? How common was it like that for some of the young men to be working hard, thinking like, yeah, we going to LSU, we going to the NFL? Like, was that a common thing, or was that like one in every? Because it's not. I mean, it's happening more often around here, but that's not a lot of things that we work for around here.
Yeah, it's a drive. And
Okay.
I think around here, be honest with you, you guys just as much talent than anybody I know.
Right. I'm just talking about as far as like you know your
Yeah,
time frame
but
and
from
mine.
my time frame, we had dogs all over.
Okay.
My whole neighborhood. It was, you know what I mean? But everybody didn't have that drive.
Right.
Everybody did it just to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I could do it. I'm a dog. I'm just, you know, I'm gonna do it. But they didn't want to put the work in for it. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Was I the greatest in school? I think no. Hell no. You know what
Okay.
I mean? I
Okay.
got better as I grew. You know, I got right 4.0. I graduated. You know what I mean? Now I done graduated with a degree. My degree ain't got no date on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care. You know what I mean? So I think my hard work really came from my family. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
A lot of people that came out with me didn't have that same hard work.
Okay.
And that's why, because my whole class, if we won a state title, I was the only one that played collegiate
Mm-hmm.
right then and there, and
Wow.
went to get paid to play this game. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And we had dogs,
Wow.
but everybody didn't have that drive. And one
Right.
thing I never forget, Coach Langley, he told me one day, picking me up for school, you know what I mean? I'm here for a practice. He said, "You gonna make it past everybody." He told me just like that. I can't make this up.
Uh-huh.
Till this day, you gonna make it past everybody.
Right.
You know, ain't because I'm more talented than everybody. It's my work ethic.
Your work ethic.
You know what I mean?
So work ethic
I
got
ain't
you a
gonna
long way.
a long way. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I tell anybody, I refuse to be outworked. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay. I love to hear that.
So,
Outwork everybody. I love it.
right.
So, like, as far as like where you at coaching right now, do the kids at Erie High, do they know all of this stuff about you?
They do.
They do?
research like here.
Okay.
They come
Okay.
ask me questions. Coach, why you ain't never tell? I don't, you know what I mean? I
Right.
let the stories be the stories. I want you to let me walk in now and show you what it's about. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So then
Yeah.
take me through your journey of, like the professional aspect of leading up to here, to landing in Erie.
Leading up to Erie,
Yeah.
That's
Because
a
you
run.
name like three,
That's
four
a
different.
run, man. That's a run, man. After I left out, that's when I had my son in Atlanta.
Okay.
You
So
know
how
what I mean?
what year we
I was
talking?
in Atlanta, huh?
What year we talking?
My son was born in 2008.
Okay. All
You know what
right.
I mean? 8. That was 8 when I was in Atlanta.
Okay.
I was in Atlanta at 8. 8 to 9, roughly about the end of 10. You know
All
what
right.
I mean? Once I left Atlanta though, after Atlanta rookie minicamp, which is politics,
Uh-huh.
as astronomical politics.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So me coming from a little Southern university, going here with you got big dogs.
Right. Right.
Big dogs. You know what I mean? You're in a room with big dogs and
Right.
you can't make no mistakes.
So what position did you play?
I play receiver.
Okay.
Kickoff returner. You know what I mean? I was fast.
Okay.
Fast as hell. You know what I mean? And that's what I came in at. But you in a room with big dogs.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at this time, you don't have no room for error.
Right.
Your error for margin is like something to none. You know what I mean? I end up hurting myself, my toe, turf toe. So it kind of kept me out. You know what I mean? But I got cut. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
From after that, that's when I went to Arena for that year. Then I went to Canada.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I went to Houston, played in Houston for the year. Then I ended up going to Canada, Edmonton. I got a few of my guys still, Chip and everybody.
Okay.
Then I came back to Arena, which I loved Arena. I played Arena forever. You know what I mean? So ended up being in Philly with the Soul, then with the Stampede. Then I ended up coming here to Erie with the Explosion.
Okay.
For those years. That's when I met a lot of these guys.
Okay.
That I deal with right now.
Okay.
All of them, honestly.
So you traveled you did all of that coming through Erie. So now
I don't know how I got there. That's the question you go ask.
No. I ain't gonna ask you how you got here. My
Okay,
question
because
is,
that was the #1 offense.
why did you stay? Is my question to you. You get the Erie, you land in Erie. Why did you stay here?
Well, I end up playing football. I had a contract, so I stayed with the contract. It was the #1 offense too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Ended up getting in the military, and I seen growth here.
Okay.
I seen a lot of things that I mean. It was smaller. Don't get me wrong. I was in a culture shock. I'm like, what?
Yeah. You talking about coming from where you coming from and coming up
What?
here?
Man,
Like,
I was a coach. I am like, I don't know. You know what I
uh
mean? This ain't go. You know what I mean? But I seen the potential here.
huh.
I got tied in with the youth more.
Okay.
Military. So my contract I couldn't leave anyway.
Oh, okay.
With some of
So
my
you
military
stationed? You was a military station in Erie?
stationed out of Cambridge. My original one was in Cambridge.
Wow, for real?
Yeah, it was because
Okay.
I was in the infantry. I'm an infantry guy for 10 years.
Okay.
Bravo and Charlie. So that's where I was.
I know right where that size work outside of there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy. Small
So
world.
so that's where I was. That's one of the main reasons I didn't leave right then and there.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Then I just ended up getting tied in with the community more.
Okay.
You know,
All
I
right.
had a lot of things to give out, so I gave it.
So, like, what's some of the differences that you like when you say culture shock? Like, what's like you coming from Louisiana and you come up here, you land, you finally stop in Erie after you talking Atlanta, you talking Houston, then you land up here in little Erie. Like, what was like the oh man, that happens here, or what's going?
So I see Erie. First of all, I didn't know about Erie for real, for real.
Okay.
You know, everybody say about Erie. I asked my own, they'd be like, "What, the lake?"
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I thought. When I was in Harrisburg, we played Erie.
Uh-huh.
That's how I first found out about Erie. And Erie had the #1 offense. That's when they had Adam DeMichael and all the boys.
Okay.
They was stacked.
Okay.
Bro and all, they was stacked out here. So I'm like, all right, we got Erie. Came up here. It was snowing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
this is this your first experience with snow
first
too?
experience with Erie and snow.
Oh wow.
So we up here, I'm up here like, bruh. We played the game. We ended up lost. They bombed on us. Like, they did us dirty.
Uh-huh.
I had 2 touchdowns first half, but after that, that's when I tore my hamstring, matter of fact.
Okay.
We left. That was my first sprint. The only street I remember is State and 12.
Okay.
Because we was at the arena right here.
Okay.
So we went upstate, stopped at the bar that's further up by Cranberry. It used to be a bar right there. It was like going up a little ramp, a little sidebar.
Okay.
We stopped there, got drinks, the team, and it was a little, you know what I mean? Big football players, and I'm like, oh, what the hell?
Right.
But that was my first experience with Erie. You know what I mean? Didn't know much else about him. Didn't know I was going to be here. You know what I mean? My contract was up out there. So called my agent. Erie was a contract. I told him I wanted to go somewhere with elite offense.
Right.
So Erie was the top of that thing in the arena. Shoot, they was putting numbers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, man. I might take a shot. I could have went back to Houston. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I could have went to New Orleans with the Voodoo. You know what I mean? But I ended up coming up to Erie. You know, with Coach Sean and all them boys. You know what I mean? I wouldn't change it for the world. You know what I mean? It was different when I got up. Don't get me wrong. When I got off the plane, that's when I really experienced snow. It wasn't much snow when I came up here that first time.
Okay.
When I got off the plane, me and my buddy from New Mexico State, from Baton Rouge, we both came here.
Okay.
We was dressed to a T. Because that's how we go everywhere.
Right.
So got our suits on, getting off the plane. I knew it was real when I got on the plane from Cleveland, it had propellers on it.
Oh, so you flew from Cleveland to Erie.
I'm like, bro, what's going on? You feel me? We pull up. They ain't think nothing. Oh, that's the area look good with the lights on. I ain't think it got the water. I'm like, all right, cool. We pull up. It pulled up to the airport. It didn't even pull to a terminal. It like it didn't have. It pulled outside.
Yeah.
Put the door down. Boom. I'm like, hold up. We ain't hooked to the terminal. Get outside, snow stack, almost higher than my shoulders, an alley that they shoveled out for us to walk in.
Like, welcome to Erie.
What?
This is what you signed up for.
What? I said, we looked at each other like, yo.
Welcome to Erie. This is what he signed up
the
for.
Owner up there, got everybody up there with the sign. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get it rocking, man. But it's cold. I didn't own a real jacket until I got here.
Wow.
I always had like little
sweaters, we literally talking culture shock.
Yeah, it was all the way different. Like I said, I be honest with you, I ain't see a lot of black people till I went to Walmart.
Okay.
For real. You know what I mean? So, and then that's when I realized, okay, it's different here. You know what I mean? Like down south, a lot of people say, okay, yeah, we're segregated. We are segregated. I think we're more segregated now, but it's not on purpose. It just happens like that.
Right. Because of the space and all of that.
Segregated. I think everybody's intervene.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? For real, for real.
Okay. So then boom, we get up here. We got you in Erie. You know, now you so then we get into the coaching scene. You know what I mean? So then you then, like I said, you got the Erie Bulls. Like, take me to that. Like, how did you get involved in coaching the youth? Like, were you coaching and actively playing, or
Yes, I was. I was actually coaching high school while playing arena. So when I used to go home, when I was high school back home, I went back to my high school. I was coaching high
okay?
school
No, I
for
mean like
years.
when once you in Erie now,
Oh,
you
when I
playing.
got to Erie, I wasn't coaching anything.
Okay,
I was just training, working out.
okay,
But I used to go to the youth games and check them out and whatever. You know what I mean? I got in the youth because of the need for quality coaches. You know what I mean?
okay,
And I had a lot of kids used to come to the games, and he's like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" So once I got into the youth at prep, that's when I got it. Was the bad. My first year is I helped somebody out. Matter of fact, it was a coach that was shorthanded. He was
uh-huh,
by himself,
right,
and I'm like, "All right, I help you out because you ain't got nobody. You by yourself. You don't really know much. You know what I mean?"
right,
So I helped them out. They was the great pickers or something
okay,
that first season, and I had a lot of young boys that ended up traveling with me all the way down. You know what I
okay,
mean? So the next year I ended up getting my own team was the Bears, and that's when I brought Coach Hollywood on with me, Mike Hollywood, which is out
okay,
of Northeast. He's from Philly originally. You know what I
okay,
mean? So brought him as the D coordinator. That's when we started clicking with the youth for those seasons. We went to the championship every year. Right after that, you know what I mean, prep got rules and certain things.
right,
It didn't relate with what we was trying to build. You know
right,
what I mean? We were trying to build our kids to be successful, and I don't think it was letting us be that way.
right,
You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right. There was more
So
safe, pampered type of,
at that
yeah,
time, James Fuller. I don't know if
uh-huh,
you know Fuller.
yeah, I know
He was
Fuller.
him and oh my god, I got a brain for it. Him and what you call it? They was over the Bulldogs organization. They only had a team, a 9U
Kyle,
team.
Kyle blows, right? Was it Kyle?
No, not Big Kyle. Kyle was with us. No, no, no.
Okay,
Okay, Nevis, Big Nevis,
okay, okay,
Big
Cook,
Nevis. Yeah,
okay,
yeah, Big Nevis. I don't know why. But him and Nevis was they had their 9-10U team, which might have mind you, people don't know the Bulldogs history. That same team is prep senior team this year. They
yeah,
had Carter. They had all them boys. Mario. They had dogs.
okay,
That's why, people look the way they do at
right,
certain times.
right,
When we came in, we expanded from one team, 9 and 10,
uh-huh,
to three.
okay,
It was 8U, 10U, 12U. At that time, DJ and Demetrius had the 10U team.
yeah. My son played a couple seasons with
Yeah,
the,
yeah. And we had the 8U team. You know what I mean? Which all these same kids' names you hear right now in high school is amazing.
right, right,
Um, After that, yeah, that's when I took over. I
okay,
took it over from Fuller. I took over the whole thing. We revamped it from top to bottom, and we built it off discipline.
okay,
Um, Discipline and a brotherhood. You know what I
right,
mean? That was the main thing we was trying to preach. And I'm
right.
my brother's keeper. I'm my brother's keeper. And those kids still stick together today.
Listen, man, I
You know
see
what I
it, man.
mean?
It's like it's crazy.
Today.
Like somehow, some way, I got invited into the fan page, so I be seeing them like it's literally like y'all got your own little community. Like when you think
Yeah.
of Erie Bulldogs, they see the kids, they got the nice uniforms,
Yeah.
they coming out there with the smoke,
It's a
and got the dog pound and all that. I be excited, man, just to watch y'all like a
it's a
professional team.
different that's the biggest vision we wanted to bring upon the city,
Mm-hmm.
and well as them having access. 'Cause a lot of these kids never even been outside the city.
Right,
They don't know what success look like to get to the next level.
right,
They deserve the opportunity to have stars and get ranked too,
right.
like these other people.
Okay.
So that's one of the main reasons when I took over the Bulldog, man, we sat down. I'm like, we need a vision.
Right.
We developing kids
Uh huh.
as well as developing coaches.
Right.
You know what I mean? As well as developing management groups. So like our staff, I want them to go on and run things themselves. Our coaches, which we went from, it's just like Dre. We was talking the other day. Dre ain't holding out. He got an all-star cast of coaches.
Right. Yeah. Yes. A
He
lot of
want us
y'all.
all to go be head coaches. That makes him look good. That makes his everything grow.
Exactly.
And
I
he'll
like
tell
that.
you that.
I
You know what I
like
mean?
that. I
So
like
the
that.
same thing with the Bulldogs.
Right.
I felt good. You know what I mean? Because Hollywood, Coach Allen, who's coaching that area high running back coach and JV coach. We got Coach Jeff Biggie, who's out there in
Okay.
Northwestern. You know what I
Okay.
mean? We got Coach Koof is coaching high school. You know what I mean? We got Coach Selby is coaching at area high. So
Okay.
all these coaches went from youth straight to high
So
school.
y'all could build like a family of
As it
coaching.
should be. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Everybody preaching the
But
same thing.
that's why we get to the point of those coaches seminars so everybody can be that way.
Right.
So if a job opened up and this curse move on, I could drink and go down to all right, boom,
Okay.
slide them up, slide
So
them up,
so
slide them up.
when you get to rolling like the Erie Bulldogs organization, like What take me through, like, how did you get to the part or the process of, all right, we're gonna take these kids on the road, because that's a lot of responsibility, man, to be taking kids on the road
It
to play
is.
football, getting them there and getting them back, or however it happens. Like,
It's man, it's a lot of money, a
uh-huh.
lot of loyalty, a lot of hard work. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Thank God we had a core of parents that left that last year. Bears
Uh-huh.
coming to prep. Those 18 kids left with me,
Okay.
and they went to Bulldogs. That
Okay.
team. So that same core minus a few, but we had like the same 12, 14 for sure till they got out at 13 years old playing high school, middle school.
Right.
Those parents stayed with us.
Okay. So the
That's the
parental
biggest key.
the parental support of the team has played the
It's
biggest role.
major, and you have issues everywhere you go.
Right.
But they stay down from here and there. And the main thing is they don't like being in the blind and knowing. And the biggest thing I think for any parent is understanding the process of your child being an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
It's two parts, student and an athlete.
Okay.
Our program, you gotta have a grade point average to even be in it.
Oh,
Now, we're
really?
not gonna kick you out. We make sure you maintain a 2.5 at least.
Okay.
Because a recruiter, if you want to talk to you, gotta have at least a 2.5.
Okay. Okay.
He's
So we
still
start.
gonna be
So
almost
we
like
started at a young age.
I'm not. Yeah, we not gonna shorten you. So when you get to Coach Dre or Coach Mish or whoever you going to after us, you don't have to deal with these same situations. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
So we discipline our boys a lot.
So breeding young champions.
That's it. You know what I mean? We coach like we always say. I saying it. We coach what they say leaders, not followers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We coach future leaders, not followers. It's simple as that. You know what I mean? We don't coach boys. We coach young men.
Right. So how do you get? Because again, like I said, when you see the community, you go around, you see the kids, the jackets on, the socks, and like, how did y'all get How did y'all get these young men to buy into everything that you was doing?
The biggest thing is trust.
Okay.
These kids know if you love them. That's why I tell you, if you're being artificial, they're gonna call you out on it, and you're gonna know it.
Right.
If you're genuine and your approach to them is genuine, they're gonna take it. You know what I mean? And everything has to be a progression.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people don't have a progression in nothing they do.
Right.
So if we're gonna do this for the, you know what I mean? Some people just jump all over the place as far as with a child's life.
Right.
It need to be a progression.
Right.
We're gonna work on this for this time, lock it in, then they're gonna go here, here. Throughout our organization is a progression until you get to a certain point.
Okay.
And I never treated them like they was babies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody wonder why our offense ran. They like, how you run a 2-minute offense with eight-year-olds?
Right.
It's easy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it ain't that hard for real. It's repetition, 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 and developing them from that summer until they get to August, and now it's like this.
Right.
And once they buy in and sticking together and things we go to the travel events, I think when we go to games, that'd be the best bonding for.
Mm-hmm.
They spend a night the night before, wherever. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? To this day, they still do it.
Right.
And they older. They went from 8 to 13, still rocking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But they have a trust with the coaching staff and with us.
Okay.
They'll run through a brick wall for us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They would, just as well as the parents. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was the core piece that grew the Bulldogs to what they was.
Okay.
That 8U team at that time, it grew them. You know what I mean? Like Carter and them was 12U. That was the OGs of the Bulldogs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how they face now. How old they is.
Okay. So then boom, we got you in the coaching the kids, and then like I said, like everybody, like the Erie Bulldog is like they like the NFL team around here for real, man. You see the young dudes, you see the blue, and you see the green. Like, no, for real, you see it all on Facebook. You see parents with their hoodies on and stuff like that. So that's something amazing to see for real. And then especially to hear like the way that y'all break it down and how the kids, and like I seen y'all training them on the beach through the summertime. You talk about discipline, you talk about, and I play football too. So, you understand like the brotherhood and the fraternity of football. So that's all great, amazing stuff to hear. And then you get involved in the military as well. Like I know at the time, like I said, I'll be all over the place, but like why did you make the decision to get involved in the military?
Originally, it was on the back of my mind for a while, honestly. You know what I mean? I wanted to do my due diligence. I got a lot of my family in the military, in the Army.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I was gonna go back to school. I'm like, I'm gonna go back to school, but I'm like, I'm not paying for that.
Right.
So that's when I got into and I sat down with myself and talked. I'm like, okay, I can do this. Let's rock out. You know what I mean? Once I got in, was it a culture shock there? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was different, you know what I mean? But it was easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people can't make it through that.
Okay.
You know
why do you think it was so easy for you?
because my adversities. I think anybody coming from where we come from, our adversity is different than what they yelling and screaming about at basic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was a joke to me. I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? And I was a little older when I went in too. I wasn't
Okay.
no young boy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think a lot of us could do it. You know what I mean? A
Uh-huh.
lot of us could do it because our adversity speaks. We went through more out here than we ever go in there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? For real.
Yeah.
And that's how I took it. So because honestly, I just seen people hang themselves. I mean, people hanging out windows. I wake up. You know what I mean? Bed.
Like in the service?
Yeah. What? But it's the people. Don't get me wrong. It's more so on the white side. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
More shelter. If you a shelter and playing video games, you think it's the same. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Okay.
These kids go there now. You got people yelling at you and boom, boom, and they're young. They're like, I don't want to be here, but you can't just leave. It
Right.
don't work that way. You know what I
Okay.
mean? They can't take it. That's why
Wow.
mental is
Yo,
big.
that's
I
crazy. I
just
never
said,
I never thought about that.
if you're on suicide watch, they taking everything. Once they identify you suicide watch, they taking everything.
Uh-huh.
And that's how it happened. But they still find ways.
Wow.
And it's a lot of them, man. People will be amazed how many people in the military die from suicide.
Wow.
You
So
know what I mean?
so then like even like when you think about that, I'm glad you brought that up. Like as far as even saying that, and you talk about some of the things that you've seen, and that's just that basic. Like so when you think about the suicide and you think about different like not to stigmatize or anything like that, but people talk about PTSD and things like that. Like what's your take on mental health as far as like addressing it, coping with it, and like just like overall like the concept of mental health?
Mental health for me, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them. You know what I mean? When I was young, I'm like, man, mental. That's how I came up. What
Right.
you mean? I gotta go get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? What you mean? I'm not telling my business to nobody. You
Right.
know what I mean? I ain't
Right.
talking about
Right.
nothing.
Right.
Don't know that's a process to damage your mental for real.
Right.
Just holding all that in. I never understood it till I got older.
Okay.
And me watching I always wondered like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean? You mean tell me that's what you're going through like that? And PTSD is a real thing.
Uh-huh.
But for me, it's a different. You know what I mean? I think I have more PTSD outside of the military.
Okay.
Because PTSD, anybody can have it.
Absolutely.
They make it a military phrase like, oh, but no, man. I know. I done seen people shot before that.
Right.
People got killed on side of me before that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I think PTSD is for your mental, but it's about, and everybody, not me. You know what I mean? Everything negative for me, I pray.
Uh-huh.
Give me mental capacity, you know what I mean, to withstand this. And I convert things. I'm about energy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't like negative energy nowhere around me.
Okay.
Even with gospel. If you call me about gospel, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't rude.
Right.
I don't really care for it.
I
You know
feel
what I mean?
you.
I gotta
I feel
protect
you.
mine. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
Because everybody say they good in taking it. Nah, man. The devil speaking in your ear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what he's here for.
Right.
The devil never physically harmed nobody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He was a musician.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah, what comes in your ear, man, gonna stay. You know what I mean? So I try to protect whatever I hear. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
I try to protect it. And I think PTSD is a real thing. And I think mental health is major.
Right. Right.
Especially in this day and age. It's worse now than it ever been.
So why do you think like a lot of men feel uncomfortable talking about that to this day still? A lot of us, especially black men, why do you think that that's a subject to where it's like, don't touch it?
Because I'm guilty of it. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? A lot. And anybody tell you I don't talk my business. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
But I think it's more so the way you grew up.
Okay.
Like I came in the household, my dad was the same way.
Okay.
My dad like, nah, what happened in the house, stay in the house. Don't talk your business, what they gonna do for it.
Right. Right.
But my mom at the end talk to God.
Right.
That's why I still talk to God no matter what.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, I don't talk, you know what I mean? It wasn't a thing back then. That's
Right.
how I came up.
Right.
I think now it's more, and right now I think it's more so trust in people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're genuine and having open discussion, which these table talks used to happen all the time.
Right.
Outside the podcast, outside anything. Once a week, it's like Bible study. We need to sit down as men and chop it up.
No, for real.
Tuesday night, 7. This is what we chopping it
like
up.
Like a wellness check. Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And
yeah.
I think it'll be cool. I would have never said this some years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't like my business, and I still getting comfortable with that. But it's about trust, man.
Right.
I done seen too much, and I never seen people help situations.
Right. I feel you.
You
so
feel
that, and
me?
that's where like people like
I'm telling you my business, but how is you gonna help it?
Right, right. And then sometimes we feel like people are gonna take it and run with it. You know what I
Take
mean?
it
And
and
then
run
like
it.
I'm glad that you said that too, because a lot of people don't even understand, like even understanding and realizing that like mental health does not necessarily mean like a label of PTSD or bipolar or stuff, but that literally like I'm not okay and I need to get some stuff off my chest. And a lot of us as men, we don't even realize that we have mental health issues and then we cope with them. And some of us do them like, you heard people, some people get upset, oh man, I need to have a drink. Some people get upset, oh man, I need to have, get high. Like that's how you coping with your mental health. And then some people will be like, oh man, I'm upset. I'm about to go to the gym. You know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, I need to take a jog or I need to go for a drive. So I feel like if we make it more understandable as far as what mental health really means to some of us, then I don't think people would be so afraid of it or won't feel like, I don't have mental health issues or I don't want to talk about it, because mental health doesn't always necessarily mean you crazy. It might be like, listen, I'm going through, like I might be calling you like, listen, man, I'm going through a situation with this person and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to answer the question, man. I'm pissed off, upset, bro. Help me
Right,
process
right,
this.
right, right,
And a lot of people don't even understand, like you were saying, just having the conversation, because I don't have to bring you my biggest problem for you to help me with my mental
right,
health.
right,
Like
right,
it might be something as simple as, man, I need a jack. My tire flat. I don't have no jack, and I'm finna bust every window in the car. I'm gonna lose it if,
right.
bro, can you help me? And a lot of that's why, again, like I love that you said that, like far as having the trust and being able to
It's
help
trust.
each other out.
It's trust, and one of the biggest things I probably have to say, and somebody had to teach me this for real,
Mm-hmm.
for real.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest part of mental health or anything, any conversation,
Right.
is listening.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you come in a subject not listening, it makes you feel like you're not genuine. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Just listen. Sometimes you just need to sit there and listen
Mm-hmm.
for what somebody. That's the only way we can understand and grow as people too. You see what I'm saying? I feel like we're terrible listeners.
Uh-huh. I agree.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I agree.
And that's even including me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes even when you know a lot, and you know what I mean. Sometimes even if you know a lot, you just need to listen. Sometimes you don't need to say nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely guilty
You
of
know what I
that, because I'm
mean?
the type of people I feel like I know it all. Somebody that come with something,
Exactly. Me
and
too.
I'm like,
Cause
oh, you got to do this, do
at the
this, do
time,
that.
like somebody taught me that a lot.
Right.
Coming, so it's humbling. You know what I mean? But sometimes that's right for
Yeah.
real. You know what I mean? How I know you genuinely listen to me if you saying, soon I boom. You know what I mean? How I know you genuinely listen to me.
Right.
You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
you. I feel
You
you.
know what I mean? So I think listening is the biggest key.
Okay.
Listening, do you know what I mean? And everything don't deserve a reaction.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything don't deserve it. Sometimes they just want to vent.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Let them vent.
Right.
I think us as black men, we don't know who to vent to.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because it's always, suck it up. You know what I mean? You the man, dude. What you talking about? That's how my dad like, oh, I gotta go get it. I can't not go to work. I gotta pay these bills.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
I don't care what problem I have. I'm still gonna go here and do this.
Right.
And that's a stigma that needs to change in general, because we should be able to vent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you gotta cry, you gotta cry. Whatever it is,
Right. Right.
whatever it is to protect your mental, that's what's gonna happen. Because if not, we snap,
Right.
and it ain't good when you snap. Man, everybody snap in different ways.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is like, again, having these conversations. This is probably my 19th conversation on here, but it's like we all know it,
Right.
but we still have a difficult time doing it. Or like some of us as men or as black men, but whatever the reason may be, we all had our stories and our struggles to where sometimes we look at another black man and we just, we keep that solid, strong face on. And like I could be dying or crying on the inside. And I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, what's good, bro?
What's good?
How's your day? And we giving each other the mean mug face. So it's like we got to figure out a way to where we can do that. But then I'm sitting here and I'm guilty of it, and I can't point the finger at you, but I'm sure you may be guilty of it as well. So, like, when do we get to the point where we kind of decrease that mean mug and starts like smiling? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how uncomfortable do you think we have to get in order for us to become better as men?
The problem is when some people experience success, because everybody moment's not the same. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And like I tell anybody, you don't have a bad day. You got a bad moment in that day.
Right.
We got to conquer the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't know what they're going through in that moment. They might have woke up, stumped their toe.
Right.
How you doing? You have a good day. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. But outside of listening, we got to come in unjudgmental, should I say?
Right.
Because as black people, we always, I hate to say it, we judge for
Yes,
no
sir.
apparent reason. It's
Yes,
just a
sir.
nature. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Even if even going in the churches. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? It's judgment. It's no judgment free. I don't care what you got on.
Right.
You know what I mean? You my brother. I'm here to listen.
Right.
Why are you in this situation? I don't
Right.
care if I go get a homeless person and sit them right here. Talk to me. What's going through your mind?
Right.
You know what I mean? How did you get here? You know what I
Right.
mean? How can I help you not be here?
Right.
But we never get that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Or if you get in a conversation, you're listening, and when it's time for you to reply, it's really nothing. You really turn it into yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's so many ways you can turn that into like, you know what? That's why I don't tell nobody nothing.
Yeah, because it's definitely people in your life you go like, yo, I gotta
And
tell
as
you
black
something.
people, we too prideful.
Yeah.
We prideful as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. We'll take like one experience. Oh man, that's why I don't talk to nobody.
Right.
One
Yep.
person messed it up for
The rest of the
the rest of the
world.
world. So we gotta try to answer your question. You're trying to convert that one person from changing that.
Okay.
We just gotta have like my coach said, always have a short term memory.
Uh-huh.
Don't let one person define who everybody else is.
Got you.
You know what I mean? It's hard because it's based on your problem and your situation. If that situation you're dealing with, it's hard for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you finally tell somebody something, they violate your trust, violate everything. It's hard to come from it. Because
Right.
as men, I think we love hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we do get into that situation, we love hard.
Uh-huh.
And when you love hard and love something hard, it's hard to, you know what I mean? He did me dirty. He shouldn't even, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now that's why I don't tell nobody nothing.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I say you come in listening, the judgment free. You know what I mean? It got to be genuine.
Okay.
It got to be
Okay.
genuine. You know what I mean? And the only way to do it is do it.
Right.
At the end of the day, the only way to do it. Even if you come to a table and just listen.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't said nothing for 5 weeks. We've been having table talk. Eventually, you're gonna say something.
Right. So you definitely agree with the table talk thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
So I mean, then as far as like this, so you've been in Erie for 10 years, you know, and you kind of named a couple of different coaches that like, you know, you be around. So for you to be kind of thinking and talking the way that you do, like my question is not as far as name dropping, but what type of people do you surround yourself with? Like what type of personalities and characteristics are the men that you surround yourself with?
Guys, I stay around. You know what I mean? I like to be around people that thinks of improvement. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Guys that want to experience success and hungry for success.
Okay.
And that's just me. You see what I'm saying? I like genuine guys. You know what I mean? Genuine good guys is hardworking family man. I don't care if you're a family member. You ain't got to even like football.
Right.
But if you can have dialogue with me,
right,
it changes.
right,
You see what I'm saying? Changes and you're not talking about the same thing. You know what I mean?
right.
You ain't talking about the block. I don't want to hear all that. You know what I mean? I'm be honest with you. You know what I mean? We trying to grow.
I feel
We
you
ain't
there.
got time to waste.
I feel you
You
there.
see what I'm saying? So that's why I surround myself by people that like that got the same type of vision. And I try to keep it in that same box.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I exclude myself from negativity.
Okay. So then
I ain't gonna lie to you.
so then we get you to the Booker T. Washington Center. Now you're saying you're the program director over here working with the youth. So outside of actually coaching football, why is it important for you to be doing that type of work as well? Outside of just being a coach for sports?
Because I get to open up to more youth than just sports. You see what I'm saying? I get the young ladies, the little babies. I get to put my impact on all of them as well. You know, because some of them don't have fathers. So me being a program coordinator over the after school program up there with Tim Cook and everybody know Tick. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. Hill,
yeah, absolutely, good brother.
Yeah, I mean, and I got a good staff that I'm bringing with me, and I'm trying to tighten that core up so we can grow. You know what I mean? For me, with those kids, is really because they didn't know me of this. You know what I mean? If you were in the Bulldog players, you didn't really know me and who I was.
Okay.
So people can make their own assumptions.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm a man of source. I like to go to the source to get what the answer is. You know
okay.
What I mean? I don't ask this person. So some of the kids that I direct to that I never dealt with, they heard of me.
Right.
But now they know who I am. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they know how genuine I am. You know, man, some of those kids don't have father figures. I like to give them that discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I like to give them that fatherly love that they need to let them know you can do this, you can do that. You know what I mean? The incentive purpose, the educational purpose. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of athletes in the building. I always on them.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So this is what you got to do.
Right.
Because our babies, the biggest thing for them, they don't know how to cope with their anger. You know what I mean? They don't. Me analyzing them, they don't know how to cope with things go bad.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Why is it important? Why do you think it's important for you to play that fatherly figure role in the community? Like, and it's a lot of good brothers is doing. I've been loving all the answers I get. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Why is it important for you to do it?
For me, I have a son. You see what I
Okay.
mean? My son is in Atlanta. You know what I mean? But I know how important it is to even see your father and be have your father there. But I also found like my dad was there,
Mm-hmm.
but he worked so much. You know what I mean? That I grew to and fond of other men that was
Mm-hmm.
around me. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. When I got old enough to really understand, like, damn, all of them had impact on me. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like this for real. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like we losing track of that
Uh-huh.
as people. You know what I mean? Our generation is failing our babies.
Right.
And my generation, exactly. I'm being honest, our generation is failing our
Ours, yeah,
babies
you right. You absolutely, I
because
can agree
we
with
didn't
you.
have parents like that.
Right.
Back in our time, we had our parents was yeah, everybody wasn't great, but our parents was there. That you know what I mean.
They
And
was
you had
involved.
old
They was present.
like the old man down the street. If I was doing the right thing, he gonna get
Exactly.
on me.
Right. Right.
We had those.
Right.
Nowadays it ain't the same. We turning the cheek,
Uh-huh.
and I like to call it barbershop talk. I feel like it's a lot of barbershop talk.
What
You
do
know what
you
I
mean? What
mean?
do you mean? What do you mean?
You sit in bar, barbershop. We talk about everything.
Yeah.
If anybody been in the barbershop, you know
Right.
what I mean. But no action.
Right.
Oh, little Jimmy, man, he cutting up over here, man. You ain't see him do this. Boom, boom,
Right.
boom, 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 boom. So what you do to help him?
Right.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? I'm out here. I'm
I was
going to
just
help,
about to say, so you definitely out here. You got every right
I
to
get
say
the
something.
stigma. I get the stigma. Oh, he ain't from
Really?
here
That
all the
did
time.
that did that run into issues for you?
It don't run into no issue because it ain't stopping no doors open
I
for
just
me.
mean as far as
Yeah.
like just people having stuff to say about you. Like, does that get thrown
I
around a
don't.
lot? Like
It
throw
get
shade
thrown
at
around.
you?
You know what I mean? It get thrown around a lot, but I don't entertain it. You know what I
Right.
mean? It don't let impact you if you entertain it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just keep working.
Absolutely.
I keep working. I keep blessing another kid. I keep trying to mentor to another kid. Keep trying to make another kid better.
Absolutely.
Men, women, you know what I mean? Oh, he ain't. Well, I'm gonna keep doing this.
Right, man. That's definitely
You know
admirable
what I mean?
too, man. Like when you think about it, like you come up here from playing football, and you get to coaching football. Y'all taking kids on trips, taking them to see things they never seen in a national championship. I mean,
Yeah,
national
we got
champions.
3
Now
of
y'all
them.
got the kids on the news. They having these banquets. They getting these jackets, new uniforms, jerseys,
Yeah,
all of that. And then you speed it up, and now you in the youth center. You know what I mean? And you running different programs over there, and you having different interactions. And I've sat in on like community member, like concerned community members. And then I heard that y'all got like an etiquette program or something y'all
etiquette.
working
Yeah.
on over there too. So
Boy,
it's
E.
like,
Shout out to E.
yeah,
Yeah,
y'all
that's
you
my
have
girl.
all of this good stuff going on. So then let me ask you, like, and I ask everybody this, and it's always kind of, it's funny to hear some of the answers. Like, how do you take all that stuff in as far as like you just acknowledging the work that you're doing and actually, I guess, celebrating yourself to realize, like, Orlem, have you ever realized, sat back, like, you know what? I do a lot. Like, I'm a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a, like, how do you celebrate yourself or kind of praise yourself and kind of poke your chest out a little bit? Or do you?
Uh, I'm humble, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't.
Okay.
And I grew up being humble. That was the main thing my mom and mom always told me. Stay humble, son. Stay humble, son. Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes you like, man, I'm tired of being humble. It's time to get, you
Right.
know what I mean? But I never really pay attention to. I paid attention to that. Like I do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
People that's around and involved with me, they know. They
Mm-hmm.
like, man, you do a lot, dude.
Right.
You know how much you do.
Right.
And I just graduated. They ain't nobody even know I was in school for real. I just graduated, and I
Right.
graduated with the Captain Macaulay Award with the
What's
work
that?
on. That's like most outstanding. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Grade
Okay.
point average in business and sports management.
Okay.
So I was the top dog on that. You know what I mean? I got an award for that too. You know what I mean? At the same time, been in the military. So I'm like, that's when I really realized it.
Listen, man.
That's
Listen.
when I really realized at that time, because that's the same day I got the award. The same day my dad died
Oh.
7 years ago,
Okay.
and 7 is completion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
7 is completion. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's completion number.
Right.
And you know what I mean? 8 is new beginnings.
So like what's interesting to me, and I can only assume that you must ain't catch a couple episodes, but like, excuse me, that's one word that I am not a fan of whatsoever, because like I think about the word humble, you know what I mean? And me and Mr. Jesse Tate, when we first started off, we talking about, like, I understand that I feel like I know how to practice humility, but as far as be humble, like when you think about some of the things that you, like, literally you sat here and we've been going for an hour, some of the things that you've been through, and then you ain't even go that deep into it, but then and then for the accomplishments that you've made, then the accolades, then you come up here, you come to a new place and you're working hard to change all of this. Like, why be humble when you've worked hard, like through your steps of humility and doing your community service where you have a right to shine? And it's like, and then here's another thing, because when I ask that question, everybody always got to answer. But check this out, right? So we have so many people who do great things in the community like yourself, but you don't shouted out, or people aren't celebrating you and people aren't acknowledging you. So although you do have your reach to other kids, there are other men who could watch and follow you and other kids who can be involved, but it's so much negativity being spread. And I just feel like it seems like all the men who are doing good and great things in the community or want to be better people are more modest and humble. Why is that? Why not just be like, you know what? Like today, I feel like I'm the man and I'm going to be the man today.
I think me growing up, I got to refer everything back to me growing up.
Okay.
That's all my foundation.
Okay.
Like I told you about the percentage. My mom and was on, you know what I mean? And the main thing for me, what makes me different than Jesus?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Jesus took the same humility. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's maybe that's how our generation, especially the ones that came up in some type of church, you know what I mean? That was what it was.
Right.
Jesus was humble. Hey, he took all that.
Right.
Died for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that's how I see it. But I do get your ass up. You know what I mean?
Right.
But outside of that part, Jesus did it. Is for me dealing with kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want them to keep their head down and keep working. You
Right.
know what I mean? Before they celebrate. It's good to celebrate. Don't get me wrong. Celebrate what you need to celebrate. But, you know what I mean? To me, people celebrating me is more. I think more people celebrate me than I would.
Right.
Because I still got work to do.
Right.
I'm not done.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not getting content because I struggled too long.
Understood.
It took me forever to get to where I'm at. I ain't got time. I got 24 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, and then I'm see, like, even me, like, see, the way I look at it now at this point, because like I said, I used to think about it like that too, like, but then even like when I have a good day, if like, let's say for instance, if I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, boom, like I write my days out every day now. So I'm running a dry race, but I know when I wake up, I got to take my son to school. Then I got to take my son to school. I follow up on some of my real estate leads. Then I schedule interviews with different people. Then I might have a house to show or something. I read my book. Then I pick my son up. We go to the gym. After I go to the gym, I come down here and do my podcast or whatever. Or I read my book, come pick my daughter up. So as I'm doing these things, like I'm looking at it like, you know what? Like I'm getting stuff done. And I feel like as I'm doing this and I'm writing it down and I'm checking it off. And that's what I mean when I say celebrate. When I'm celebrating and bragging, like, yo, I'm productive today. My son sees that.
Major.
You know what I mean? I'm doing something great. My son sees that. He's like, dang, that's my dad feels good. And I feel like us as men, like, let's say, for instance, if you brag, and again, I'm not trying to change anything, but let's say, for instance, you had a productive day, and let's say you made a post today, like, man, guess what? And it was just for your own personal self, but we all use Facebook, and you're like, man, today I woke up at 5 a.m. and I did this, and I accomplished that, and I taught these kids this, and I did that, and I feel amazing. It would be other people that see that and be like, you know what? I'm finna start doing that too. Right. I'm gonna fall because you're an admirable person, and now you got all this good information going on. Now I'm following you and I'm watching you, and I've seen everything that you have to offer. But it just seems like I said, like, and I've been guilty of in the past, like us, some of the hardest working men who live in a city who are putting out a lot of productive things and putting out a good product are so quiet about it, and a lot of us are taking the same approach to where I'm gonna keep my head down. But on the flip side, I feel like if we can kind of start thinking, when I say celebrate yourself and celebrate your wins, like have a brag about the success and continue to challenge yourself to keep going to where now it's cool. Right, like let's say for instance, I'm like, listen, bro, you went to school, like you like, man, I got this. I'm at a 3.6, and I'm like, I got a 3.7. I'm pushing for a 4.0, so you better get it. Right. Then I get to the 3.8, like, yeah, I got the 3.8, and we bragging back and forth like that to where we change the narrative. Because here's the thing, think about it, like when we was young boys growing up, and we from different places, but I got girly number, or guess who can do it, and we brag about so many different things to the point to where we grow into adults and we get to bragging about some things that are frivolous or make us no sense or mean nothing to us, to where I feel like if us as men, the men who are doing the positive things, kind of like figure out a way to strategically boast about it, it will become a trend. And then I can see, okay, this is a positive black man. He got it going on. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
And then even have a comment, because then when you do it, I can be like, I'm commenting on your joint like, yo, that's what's up, man. I remember last week you was only booming. Now you doing this, and now I can celebrate you, and we can kind of celebrate each other and kind of build something up to where it's okay for me to say, you know what, I had a good day today, and I know I'm gonna get some support. Because here's the thing, if we look at it on the flip side, like you said, the devil is quiet and all you working. If I were to come on here and go Facebook Live and say I figured out a way to where we can scam up $100,000, people would follow it. People would jump on it. But there are plenty of people who are spreading so much negativity that it's trending to where it's just like, why not combat it? Right. So that's why I want to have these conversations and keep doing this. So you know what I mean? Us as men, we can have these type of conversations. Like I said, I'm building like a community of us as men to kind of, and I'm talking to people who are involved in the community, people who are involved in work. And then you said you're an entrepreneur as well. So I'm gonna ask you some questions about that. But like, this is what we doing, and this is what we building. So like going into there, like take me through, if you don't mind, like
Right.
entrepreneur, like what do you have going on?
I train. You know what I mean? National Academy of Sports Medicine.
Hmm.
That's why I got my license for training. I've been training for years. Though.
So you
You know what I mean?
training adults,
Athletes,
kids, like
kids, adults. I train a lot of kids. A lot of people don't want to deal with kids
uh-huh,
because of the patience.
right,
But it's like I told you, it's progression with kids. You know what I mean? But I train kids, adults, old, elderly, whatever the case may be. A1 speed and performance training.
how do we find you?
I specialize. I'm on my media platforms. Instagram, I got A1 speed and performance training.
Okay,
I train a lot. I cater to a lot of athletes. You know what I
okay,
mean? I do, but I train everybody. You know what I
okay,
mean? I had a lot of people I train. Recently I got more on the youth side
uh-huh,
because they don't get that type of training. I don't see it. You know what I mean? To make them better from this year to this year to this year.
right,
Because of patience, like I say. I don't
mm-hmm,
think people have patience, and I think I got a lot more patience with kids.
okay,
They're gonna mess it up 1,000 times.
okay,
You just got to break it down from step. Instead of going 3 steps, go with the first step
right,
for the first 3 weeks. That's
right,
all you're doing.
right,
You know what I mean?
right,
But some adults don't have that patience. So
uh-huh,
I try to cater to a lot of kids around this area for sure.
right,
Because that's the new wave anyway. You know what I mean? That's kids are getting better faster than when I was young.
right,
You see what I'm saying?
right,
And half of the reasons because they have the proper training and proper things they need and equip themselves to get to where they need to go. You
right.
know what I mean?
See what, and see, like even stuff like that, like even like, and I'm pretty sure it's different things that we leaving out about you, and like for us to not, I put a lot of focus and emphasis on that as us as men, like celebrating ourselves. But even that, like, so now I'm gonna ask you this question, like, let's just say for instance, if you knew 4 more people who did everything that you did and are doing what you're doing right now, how much better do you think the environment around you would be?
It would be amazing.
Okay.
Um, the biggest thing, like I say, a lot of people don't like in the business field, it's a competitive market,
Uh
right?
huh.
So you got to understand the market and understand what your price is going to be and what you're going to do.
Right.
But as people, we gotta. It's a fine line with that.
Uh huh.
If I do the same thing that 3 other people do, they they shelter themselves up. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You don't do it like this.
Right.
Assault it however they want to, and then you
Right.
hear about it.
Right.
Instead of sitting down and being great, all right, boom, I do this, you do, and we all do this. Guess what?
Right.
I can get the stadium. Let's have a
Right.
big camp, a
Right.
showcase.
Right.
You know what I mean? We all developing kids. You still can generate revenue. You still developing the kids, generating revenue together and putting your names out there
Right.
together.
Right.
But I feel like it's too much pride and stubbornness.
Right, right. But that's what I mean. And that's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
know what I
so
mean?
when you think about the pride and stubbornness and you got people that are doing things like yourself, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we have more people like you, but in order for us to do that, we need to hear more
We
about
need
what you're
to
doing, where you come from, what you do. And
right,
then
right.
on another thing, if we talk about accountability of man, like, how do you address another man and correct another man when you see he's wrong or he's doing something wrong? Or do you like mind your business when it comes to that kind of stuff?
With that one, you know what I mean? It's a thin line because it depends on if I had to address another man for being wrong, I think we people are stories.
Mm-hmm.
I love stories.
Okay.
Stories is my favorite thing about a person, a
Okay.
human. Everybody got a story. You know what I mean? Everybody.
Right.
And sometimes you might have to learn from your experience.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And everybody ain't gonna take what you tell them the right way. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Yeah, it's ways you can tell people stuff, like just to help you out, boom, boom, boom. But I think the listening part
Uh-huh.
comes in effect, especially with our people.
Right.
They get defensive.
Right.
The moment you get defensive, it's going in one ear out the other.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you say "but," it's going on in one out the other.
Okay.
But
Okay.
at the same time, who said mine just worked? Yeah, yours might work this way too.
Right.
I'm coming like I would never tell another man you doing something wrong with your business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nah, yeah, I'm successful this way.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I should be the blueprint.
Right.
But you might know something different.
No, I just mean like
Everything grows.
I just mean like characteristics of a man. Like, let's say for instance,
yeah.
if I'm doing something that's not so like honorable as a man, you
As
know
a
what I
man,
mean? Like,
okay,
how do you deal with that, and are you open to that? Like, let's say for instance, like if I'm in a situation to where I'm ignoring my son, I got a lot of kids, I'm ignoring my son, and me and you is cool. Like, is you like, bro, like, what's up? Like,
Oh yeah, I'm on that.
okay,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
okay, that's what I mean.
If I
Stuff
see
like that.
something that Adam stress to a child
Right.
or a woman,
Right.
because I praise women, I don't agree with disrespecting women in no
Okay.
way, form, or fashion. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, that's my mom,
Right.
my nieces, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And kids, you know what I
Right.
mean? Or to yourself.
Right.
Like I like humans, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm the first to tell you about it. Like my brothers, they know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll get into it out the gate. Like, bro,
Right.
what, man?
Yeah.
That ain't cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
And and I like people around me to tell me the same thing.
Right. That was my
You know
next
what I
question.
mean?
Like, you open to that kind of stuff as
I'm
well?
open. You know what I mean? It is. You know what I mean? You got to have those people.
Right.
That's where the genuine come in. Genuine ain't just always listening to the wrong thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, I robbed the bank. You just listening to me. You're like, what? No, you supposed to be. Yeah,
Right.
you
Exactly.
know
Yeah,
what I
that's what I
mean?
mean.
It's a
Stuff like
different type
that.
of
You know what I mean?
listen.
Right.
It's a different type of listen. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to have those people around. And I
Okay.
think I genuinely got somebody in my corner for that. And I
Okay.
got a few people I surround myself around that, you know what I mean, get on me like that.
Right.
That's your mom. My mama gonna tell me the same thing. You
Absolutely.
feel me?
Listen. So then, like, you know what I mean? And then, like, what's like the most interesting thing I like about this is 'cause, like, we literally just sat for an hour and 15 minutes. We had a good conversation. We had talked about, like, all the things that you've done. You know what I
Right.
mean? As far as like you growing up from Louisiana, LSU to Southern
University.
University. Then we talking the the rookie camp at the NFL. Then we talking the CFL. We talking arena ball. We talking
Yeah.
semi-pro. Then we going youth coaching, taking the kids to championship, to Erie High, to working in the community. Then we talking personal training. So it's just like,
Yeah, that's a lot.
let's not forget. Then we got the military and all that. So then it's
Yeah.
like all of these things that you have going on is like, this is great. It's great stuff to hear. And that's why I want to feel like, that's why I feel like we need to continue to highlight the brothers in the community, because it's a lot of people as I'm having these conversations and the feedback that I'm getting, the responses that I'm getting, like the names is like, we're gonna get to the point to where we all gonna come together, we're gonna sit together, we're gonna have a great conversation. And even if it's not like you heading one or I'm heading one, or like it's so many of us to where when we get together and we have these conversations, we all can kind of fill in for each other in different spots and different avenues to build. So like I don't want it to just be a podcast or a YouTube channel for entertainment purposes. Like I'm literally planning. My plan is to like identify different men in the city. We're gonna all come together. We're gonna figure out what the schedule is to where we can all sit down. And if it's a lunch, if it's a dinner, and then just kind of figure out different plans of action that we can put in to be more involved. If it's showing up at the football games, I know the football season finna change. So even if it's showing up at whatever season, you know what I mean, any event, just to show a presence and to be active and be involved, I feel like it's a time for that. And I think this is a good way to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to, like I said, I try to keep everybody on for like an hour and some change. I don't want to saturate it too much.
Right.
And I feel like you've given up enough information to where if people were interested, they should look out for you or look out,
Right.
look you up.
Right.
But I also feel like at this point in time, like it's time for you to kind of like, and again, I know being a little bit more vocal about some of the stuff you got going on. But I'm gonna pass the mic to you because it is a Terro Jackson show at the end of the day. So like, you got the last couple minutes. If you want to say anything, you got any questions for me, or you want any plugs or shout outs, like now's your time, man.
Right. Biggest thing for me, man, especially in the community, you know what I mean? Because I'm always about building. You know what I mean? Building. Put our pride to the side. You know what I mean? The powers that need be that I know of need to sit at the table.
Okay.
And have a discussion. And the main thing is pride that's keeping them away from doing that. And it's hurting our youth more than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I think that could be one of the keys to move forward from here. You know what I mean? To move forward. Because you got some good people in good places now. And I think it's catching it. Erie is slower, but it's getting there. You know what I mean? You see it. It's just moving slowly. You know what I mean? But us as people in the community, I do think we have to get more involved with our children, the school district, the city, and understand your value. You know what I mean? And that's for real. You know what I mean? I done seen it change from where I'm from. It changed the whole inner city school when the people are involved.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Understand your power.
Right.
You know what I mean? Understand your power. That's the biggest thing. And I do agree with celebrating. I do agree with your take on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But us as people, I think we need to be genuine. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Listen, and don't let negativity saturate your mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? Learn how to turn negative to positive. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Well, there you have it, man. We're gonna wrap up this interview with Mr. Terro Jackson. Y'all done heard all of the things he got going on, all of the things that he's doing, all the things that he's done. I mean, it sounds like he definitely got some plans for the future. We will continue to have conversations. We're gonna get all the fellas together. So listen, fellas, as y'all watching and y'all subscribing and y'all liking, like just remember some of these names. Scroll through, start adding them to your Facebook. I got a nice long list of people to still go. I appreciate everybody's time for watching tonight and continuing to watch. Make sure that you like the channel. I need more subscribers. I'm stuck at 48 subscribers, man. So I need some subscribers. I need, make sure you turn on your notifications so when we are going live, I don't want to have to keep sending out text messages. We figuring out everything. We getting bigger. We getting better as we go. Appreciate everybody's time. Appreciate the guests. I appreciate you again for coming to talk. Again, you said one more time, where can they find you at as far as like your business that you have actually going on?
You catch me at the Booker T. Washington Center anytime. But as far as A1 Speed Performance Training, I am on the platforms as far as Instagram. You can contact me directly on Facebook at Terro Jackson. We do have some events coming up too. I'm sorry I ain't tell about it, but we got Hassan Hill coming in on the 27th as far as life greater than violence at the Booker T that we showcased.
Okay, slow it down and tell me. You don't got to rush it. Listen, man, we run the show. So you can slow it down and tell us about it. This is our show.
5 to 7, life greater than violence. If you guys came as Leadership Institute, Booker T. Washington. I'm coordinated. We got a guy from Pensacola, Florida.
Okay,
he's coming in and speaking to the kids. The life greater than violence. 5 to 7. It's a development for the community actually getting involved, paying certain things that we don't have to depend on nobody else for. You know what I mean? As far as like our study halls we deal with area high football, they in study circles and study halls to get their education on path, and we pay the teachers for that.
Okay.
And that's what this movement for. You see what I'm saying? Life greater than violence. And also we have a Halloween event on October 31st. Bring your kids out at Booker T. Washington. We're gonna have a haunted house party, Gonna have.
Oh man, food, that's dope, man. Yeah, we definitely got to get that out.
That's at 6 to 8 o'clock. We're gonna have candy and everything for the kids. It's gonna be a good showdown. So those are the two events that we do have coming up. Okay. Outside, we got Meadville this week, Friday, man. Area High.
Okay, we playing at the stadium or we
at the stadium, man. We play Meadville at the stadium. It's gonna be a big one, man.
All right, man. We need to get in there, man. So again, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all check us out. Make sure y'all stay posted. We got more people coming. We got more interviews going, man. Again, I appreciate your time. I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all have a good night.